So in the last video, I carved this wizard type fellow with the old cloth hat, and I focused on the nose. Well, in this video, oh boy, I'm going to focus carving realistic looking eyes. Now, I'm not the best at filming eyes. I'm not the best at carving eyes. There's lots of other videos on YouTube how to carve eyes. So you might want to check those ones out before you check this one out. But let's see if we can make this happen. This is Western red cedar, super wide grain. Not the easiest wood to carve. This is not the best wood to show an example of carving eyes. But let's just freaking get her done. All right, so when it comes to carving realistic eyes, you do not have to carve, even though this is a wizard type fellow, it's still a WoodSpirit. You can, like one of my first videos in this series, you can hollow out those eyes and call her done. This is, like I said, this is not the best wood. Now, also carving eyes, there's a lot of other things that come to with carving realistic looking eyes, somewhat. Both the sides of your face should be the same distance. Both your eyebrows should be the same distance. And your nose should be long enough. Because if your nose is too short in here, if you're going for the wizard type thing, your nose is too short, well, you're going to, say if you drew this in here, and your nose ended right here, well, by the time you take that out, you're not going to have any cheeks. So the first most important thing is to, I think, draw your eyes on at the best you can on both sides, as equal as you can. Now, there's so much veneer, there's so much, like I said, different things that take effect when you're trying to carve real eyes. And I'm going to try do my best to show you how I do it. And like I said, there's lots of other channels on YouTube that show how to carve eyes. Now, those are on pretty equal, I think. It's hard to do eyes too because I like to have the piece right in front of me when I'm carving eyes, everything center. And when I'm filming for YouTube, I can't, it's hard to have everything center so it's still on the screen. So this is a Kutzall taper burr, extreme. I think I'll use this burr. I'm going to carve around these circ footballs on here. I'm going to carve straight in. I'm not going to, you can't carve underneath like that because then by the time you get these things, because we want these to be round inside here, kind of like this, like a ball in a socket. We want these, and we're not doing the eyelids or anything yet. We want these to be round inside here. So you can't curve it like that because, well, then by the time you make this round, you'll be left with nothing. So make sure when you cut it straight. Ryan Cook calls it true to the line. So not like this, but true to the line. All right, on both sides. I'll put this in my Wen rotary carver, and I'll carve around here. So you carve that there. And then you remove the wood around this. You just leave that square with the square edge. Then you remove the wood down here and taper it down. All the way around. Frustration. Filming eyes. Fair warning, you guys will see me move this piece all around like this. I don't like to have my piece for Dremel carving. I don't like to have it in the vise so I can move it around. So you can see here, I didn't follow my line. You can see that line there. I cut it short. So now I got to cut this one short. Now those look like googly eyes because I didn't follow the lines properly. That's okay. Now we're going to switch burs. I'm going to put on I think I'm going to use the Kutzall. Make sure that's not too hot. Where'd I have that burr? I just had it. The Kutzall. Let's use this dull extreme flame burr. See how there's no life? It's not very spiky. Let's use that. And when you do the nose and the eyes, it's when you're a very beginner. It's when you really want to take your time. So now I'm going to remove all the wood around here and leave that center the way it is. What I'm trying to do now is remove all my cut marks that I see deep down inside there. Okay, now look at the size difference of these. These will be your eyeballs, actually. Look at the size difference. They're mangled. They're all over the place. So the better that you carve those on now, the better you're going to have. An easier time down the road you're going to have. But if you look at the whole scenario, if you look at the big picture of the outsides are kind of the same. And in realistic life, no one eye is always higher than the other eye. No two eyes are the same. I had Bell's palsy when I had my injury, so I see that because half my face froze up, and I see that one of my eyes is lower than the other one. So now let's put on this Kutzall. This is the gold burr. The gold flame burr, really fine, and let's just take our time rounding everything off, trying to make them both the same. So what I do is I do one top, then I go over here. Then I spin it, and I do the bottoms. Okay, now they're starting to look more the same. Now I kind of round the edges. So this eye, I can see right now, this eyeball is way bigger than this one. So I'm going to adjust it right now. And round it out again. Now I see that this eye that I just had to recut is deeper than this eye, so I'm going to make this one deeper again. Taper that out again from underneath the eye. I try to make sure that this, where I tapered it down from the eyeball, they're both the same. I try to make sure that the bottoms are the same height, the tops are the same height, they're the same size. And you got to take down inside, like you got to carve inside, around the side. Like if you feel the bone beside your eye right now, feel it. It sinks in down here, then comes back out for your cheek. So your eyebrow, then it will sink in there and then come out, right? Anyways, now the eyelids. Now I'm just going to use a pencil here. I hope you're going to be Rex Branson. What's Branson Artworks on YouTube? Is a master carver, and he said the eyelid. The top eyelid always should be rounder than the bottom one. And he sees so many people make that mistake. I always make it. So what you do is you start with a circle, a dot here and a dot there. I gotta do this off camera. Because you want the eye ducts to be the same spot. Now that one's this eye's a little bit wider than this one. See how much bigger I drew that on? And this one's hard to see. Let's see. Let's just end it right here. No, I don't like that. It looks like an alien. Anyways, try and draw those on the same. Actually, tell you the truth, when I'm carving fast and heavy, I don't even draw them on. Now, what's a good bit to use? I think you got to be more of an experienced carver to use this bit, because it's more like a chisel, and it can chip the wood. I don't think this wood's too chippy, but this is like one of those 3 cheap aluminum cutters. This is the smallest one. This is pretty dull too, so I'm going to go inside here, cut, and then I'm going to dig at each corner. All right, I'm going to dig at each corner, then round it off and make it look like there's an eyeball inside of the eyelids, top eyelid, bottom eyelid. This is the really tricky part, filming, doing this, because I can't make it square enough for myself. Like if I was just carving it for myself and not filming, it's easy to make it square. But now I'm gonna do my worst eye first. This is all my right eye is always my worst side first. Don't carve it too deep yet. Okay, so that eye's in. Let's try and make this one the same. I can see this one's bigger. So now I'm going to plunge cut in each corner. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to plunge cut here, I'm going to plunge cut in there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side. You see how I got this finger and I'm holding my thumb? That's to make it so this thing can't jump out and chip your eyelids off. So I just support it with this finger. Now I'm using my thumb as a support. All right, so they're all right. Now, I think for somebody somebody that's just getting into wood carving, I think this Kutzall gold burr, it's got a nice fine tip. I think that would work good for doing this too. But I'm going to put this burr on now, and I'm going to try and round everything off there. I'm not worried about the details for the eyes yet. I'm just trying to make them as round. Like, the deeper that you plunge in those corners, the rounder that you make your eyeball look. Okay, so let's just do this up. Try and round it off. So now looking at this, I can see this eye is longer than this eye. You know, all you'd have to do is just go like this. Make this one a little bit longer. So now, if you look here, your eyelids don't need to stick that far off the eyeball, so you can always take those down lower too. Whoops. Lighting is very important. Like, you want to have lights on this side and possibly overhead. The more lighting that you have when you're doing art, the less shadows that you're gonna, get. So let's just like I said, the easiest the easiest eyes to do are this way or that way, looking this way or looking that way, looking up or looking down. But let's just, because I want somebody to win this for my Mine and Just Carve Robs and Spikes challenge, I want to do nice ones. But so let's make them so this one's looking this way. I say this way because the top of the hat's folded over that way. It'll just kind of mix it up. So I just plunge this in. Okay, that's, it's not easy. But I get when you're first starting, it's not that easy. So your bottom eyelid, your top eyelid overlaps your bottom eyelid. Okay, let's switch back to that. Actually, I just pulled out a diamond burr, a pointy diamond burr from my thing. But here's the real pointy diamond burr. It's actually not that pointy, but this is how you can do highlights and undercuts. So you see what's going on here now? So you can undercut underneath the eyelids. I like these diamond bits because if you carve fast, it will burn the wood at the same time. Especially if they're dull. Oops. Okay, you can round off the eyeball inside there. You can also do a little cut inside the, so there, where's your eyeball? So use your eyeball. You can do a little round cut like this. Doing this little cut will separate the eyelid from the eyeball. It's just like a little undercut. Okay, so now we can give it some widow, what are they called? Crow's feet. Give them some. You can separate your eyebrows. You can cut underneath the bottom lip and the mustache. You can make it so you can see that top lip there better. You can separate the hat from the eyebrows. All right, then you just get some Scotch Brite or sandpaper. Or whatever you want to use. And let's set this up against the wall and see how it looks. So I hope that eye tutorial was able to help somebody. The more rounder that you make them, the better they're going to look. This one looks a little bit cartoonish. That's fine. It's a cartoonish wizard. Now, there's so many different ways to carve eyes. Here's a quick one that I did. This is more like a dinosaur eye or a reptile eye or something, where you can make the bottom eyelid all wrinkly and stuff down there. Like his nose would be on this side. So I enjoy carving the eyes, looking in a direction. It's a lot easier to do, and I recommend it to people wanting to try to carve eyes. And you know, when you're doing the wood spirits or any type of face, the eyes are always the hardest to do. Why do you think I've carved thousands of wood spirits with no eyes? Hollow out the eyes. Because I'm not very good at carving eyes, and I'm okay to say that. And it's a lot faster too. And it looks, honestly, in my opinion, it looks a little bit more spiritual and majestical, I guess, whimsical with no eyes. When you put the eyes in there, it's looking more somewhat kind of human. And if you're not good at carving eyes, well, then it looks really silly. And so just practice your eyes. If your eyes suck, carve them out and hollow out the eyes. So once you get into wood carving, so I hope that helps you, everybody. So once you get into once you get into the depths of the wood, that's when your mind really opens up. You know, just sitting there like this. This is something I'm doing on my own time. Sitting there, just looking at the piece. It's not going to carve itself. So I'm just working on this slowly at my own pace. And I forget what I was going to say, but it's not going to carve itself. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is sometimes I wake up in the morning, I want to carve, but I don't know what to carve. So I just start carving. That's when I start carving, my mind starts working. And, well, I carve things like this. Like that flying pig with the little Geordie worm on it. Yep, there's a just carved Rob Geordie worm up there. Yeah. You gotta really start carving to open up your mind sometimes. So my mind's open up. So now I'm gonna round off this hat. I'm not gonna film doing that, but you know, you see like the hat just above the eyebrows. And be warned, everybody, be warned. This is a funny joke that me and Just Carve Rob have. If you would burn your eyebrows in WoodSpirit, there's a good chance it could be like well, I don't know if I can get in trouble saying this, but like kind of one of those trans wood spirits. So I wouldn't suggest burning in the eyebrows. No, I wouldn't. You can cut that hat back deeper too if you want. so it's not sticking so far off the face. Anyways, I'm going to shape this with my Fordham, and then I'll be back. So I did a few things, and I sanded. Now, why I did these spiral lines and stuff down here is because, well, I'm going to show Susie pooped her pants this. Let's show Susie band. You burn the wood deep, you clean it off with Scotch-Brite, and you will see the grains pop. And I think it will give this piece a great effect. And I'll slightly burn some of the beard and maybe a little bit of eyebrows. Now I cut through the top of the hat there because, well, silly me, I already had the hole for that to hang it on the wall. But anyways, don't forget to sign your pieces. So do not catch your house on fire when you do the Show Susie band. I suggest take it outside. This is a little butane torch I got. I just used the last of this butane. Hopefully I don't have to go to the store to get any more. But I'm going to take this outside and burn this all down here really deep. And I'm going to burn the hat really deep too. And I might do a little bit of burning on here inside these deep spots where the thing is. So luckily I had enough, I'm out of butane, but I had enough butane for one tank full of here, and I got all the burning done to the best that I could. So, you know, some of the Show Susie band pros call it like the alligator or the crocodile skin effect. But they say you got to burn it so you kind of see like little cracks in there. I didn't really have enough butane to do that. And, you know, when you burn the soft wood like this, you're going to burn away lots of detail. I know that I'm going to burn away some of these sharp edges and detail, but the only reason that I did these carvings here like this is to get the different layers of grains to pop out. So I can see a grain here, grain here, grain here. But if I just left it flat, you just see like some straight grains. But cutting into it and feathering it out, you're going to see different grains pop out. And yeah, so I can see big grains here on the hat. So this is the dirtiest job when I'm chainsaw carving, possibly Dremel carving too. This is Scotch-Brite, right? This is a sanding mandrel you get on Amazon. I'll leave a link to these below in the description. And I'll leave a low link to the box of Scotch-Brite that I buy. Lasts a long time when it's the 3M stuff. It's the better stuff. You use the stuff from the dollar store, your shopping market, your food store. The green stuff, it just goes fast. This stuff lasts longer. So you gotta spend a lot of time going over this to get the lights and the darks to pop in this grain. So I'll start, put my dust mask on, put the dust collector on, get to it. I might have to pull out the sander for this part again. Same thing, sanding mandrel, just put sandpaper, emery cloth. Okay, stand by. Messy job coming up. I don't have my microphone plugged in, but one thing I gotta say is turn your Dremel or your Wens down because you'll fry your Dremel motor. This is a lot of friction to have on it. So, anyways. See the grains there now? So the more you do it, you'll get this part to be whiter than the black part. Now, just a fair warning to all those that haven't done the Show Susie band, you know, the softer the wood, the more things are going to move, the more you're going to lose your details. But you can see how that really made that green pop out. You can Google Show Susie Band. That's what they used to do. They used to burn their houses way back in the day. They used to burn the outside of the houses in Japan to make the wood, I guess, preserve and last longer. Now you can see those really whites really popping out there in the top hat. No, the more that you do it, you see how it's shiny. You're kind of varnishing the wood. But now look at those grains. Come on. Come on now. I love it. Shows Susie pooped her pants. So this piece, like I said, is going to be one of the gifts for the Just Carve Rob, Jordy, and Spike challenge coming up. I don't have any clear finish here right now. I got to go buy a can. I got to go to the next town over to go to Walmart and buy a can of that Russ Olam. Because, well, I'm going to put some special things on this piece. We're gonna upgrade her. Yeah. I'll go get the clear coat, spray it on, one coat, let it dry, and do a little bit of upgrading here. Upgrades, Carve Fusion upgrades. Do I want a satin? Do I want a semi-gloss? Do I want a gloss? Let's go with satin. Cheapest place to buy it, 14 bucks. Well, you might as well go to A&W when you're out this way too. Get yourself a teen burger combo with onion rings. Yep. You see, my problem getting takeout food is with A&W or wherever is the same problem I have with McDonald's. McDonald's, I always eat the French fries before I get home. A&W, I always eat the onion rings before I get home. I got one left. And always get some pickles on the side. I know most of you Americans out there don't know what ketchup chips are. But yeah, these are my favorite chips right here. Yep, you gotta love the ketchup chips. Now, Just Carve Rob has been bugging me, saying that President Trump is going to make Canada the 81st state. Now, I know why Just Carve Rob says wants Donald Trump to make Canada the 81st state. So hopefully, if Canada becomes the 81st state in America, they can get ketchup chips. Anyways, there's 2 packs in here. I'm going to split this box. I'm going to take 1 pack, and I'm going to send 1 pack to Just Carve Rob so he can get his hopes up even more. Anyways, let's take this outside and spray it. It's going to go super dark. And duh, I know it's the 41st state. I mean 51st. Ha! Don't be a Chris. So I got 2 coats of that clear coat on this piece. You know, I just want to say I've ruined lots of carvings by giving them a clear coat. You do not have to give your carvings a clear coat if you want to put them indoors. They're not going to make them so the sun doesn't hit it when the sun's shining inside. Just put it in the shady wall. It also helps sometimes to put a little bit of black paint inside those pupils that you cut out to make them highlight a bit more. It still needs 1 more coat. If you look under the eyes there, under the eyebrows, you can see where it's kind of flat. You can see down here, right beside my thumb, see where it's flat. That means the wood was more porous and it just kept on sucking the stuff in. But I'll give this 1 more coat and call her done. But the Carving Fusion upgrade I was talking about, since this is going to be a prize for when me and Just Carve Rob and Spike do our challenge, I got these. These are opals from, I don't know, I like watching that show, Australian Opal Hunters. But these ones are from Ethiopia. You know, when you see the pictures, they use like a little baby's hand, and these opals looked a lot bigger when I bought them. They're pretty nice though. I think the best ones are in Australia. But these are pretty nice, and they're flat back, so I can use them on a piece. And I'm going to use them on this. I think these were $20, $25 with free shipping or something. But so I was thinking about gluing some around the brim of the hat. Now, which ones should I use? The darker ones or the lighter ones? I just don't know. Maybe I'll use the lighter ones. And I'm just going to use these little tweezers and some medium thick CA glue and get them on there. So I kind of put a couple in the eyes, the darker, smaller ones. So you get a glistening effect. Now, I'm not much of a jeweler setter, but that was tricky to do, to get them to stay in place, waiting for the super glue, CA glue, to dry. Yeah, now you get the glittering effect coming from the eyes. I'm going to be honest, these opal colors, I put a couple darker ones down the bottom corners down here too. These opal colors up here, well, they're a little bit, I'm just going to say, I'm going to be polite and say they're a little bit light for me. But I'm glad I put them in because, well, there's lots of ladies that follow this crazy carving fusion channel here. And I would like a lady to possibly be able to win this wizard with the, I'm going to say, fruity little things on the thing. Anyways, that's it. It's done. So there's a lot of work that goes in this. And also, I think the matte finish would have been a better color to finish this off with. But I did the eyes. You learned the eyes on this. I just quickly carved the hat, did the Show Susie band, put those things in there. So hopefully a lady will be able to win it when me and Just Carve Rob do the challenge. Well, and that's about it. So I guess I'm almost done with the 7-day WoodSpirit videos. I guess I only got, I think this is number 6. I guess I'm going to have to make a good one for the last one. One more thing, too. Remember I talked about putting a wood finish on this? Now, this was a nice piece without the wood finish on it. All right? I liked it better. But I had to put the wood finish on it because putting these on there, just with the wood and the super glue, you would see the splat around there from the super glue. So that's why there's a finish on it. But I'm going to pick up a can of the matte spray. I'll spray this, so whoever wins this, it won't be shiny when you win it. Ethiopian opals. Garden Fusion. Over and out. Battery's dying. Next video is going to be a surprise. I'm going to do 2 more. Also, I'll say something that I noticed, and I didn't even notice the whole time I was carving it, because I was just having a good time focusing on the eyes, and other videos focusing on the nose. But look at this cheek compared to this cheek. This one sucked in way more than this one. I didn't even notice that till now. You know what? Realistically, like I said, it's a friggin' WoodSpirit. Somebody would be like, that wizard's cheeks are off. I'm like, man, are you stupid? It's not a wizard. It's a goddamn WoodSpirit wizard thing. Has fruity little opals in it.